So now we start to get into more mathematical calculations involving waves. What we have is the string of a harp is vibrating with a frequency of 220.0 hertz. The wavelength, or the length of the string, is 2.3 meters, and we need to calculate the speed that this wave travels through the string. Before we do anything, before we choose an equation, before we do any math, it's always a good idea to define the variables, which is just a way of taking the information in the question and putting it in a more compact form. So what we've been told is that the wavelength of this wave is 2.3 meters. Wavelength has the variable of lambda, that Greek letter. We've also been told that the frequency is 220.0 hertz. Frequency is F. And we need to calculate the speed, and speed is V. Since we don't know speed, we give it a question mark. Now, there is only one formula that we have that deals with waves, the universal wave equation, V equals F lambda. But in general, when we have a situation where we need an equation, we look at the variables, we need to find an equation that matches those variables. So lambda, F, and V equals F lambda works. The order that we've defined the variables means absolutely nothing. It's just that way that the information was given in the question. So we have V equals F lambda. Substitute in what we know. V we don't, so we'll leave it as V. F, 220.0 hertz. Lambda, 2.3 meters. That calculates out to 506. Now, we have to look at significant digits here. Lambda, 2.3 meters, has 4 sig figs. Sorry, lambda has 2. I'm getting ahead of myself. Frequency has 4 sig figs. Because we have a 0 after the decimal, that last 0 is significant, which now sandwiches the middle 0. It also becomes significant as well. Our final answer must have the fewest number of sig figs of any individual measurement. That would be 2. So 506, to give it 2 sig figs. Well, 5 is going to stay as 5. What happens with the 0 is really the question. Well, 6 is following it, so it's going to round up to a 1. But 51 as an answer is nowhere near 506. When rounding with sig figs, we need to keep the same value or the same power of the number. This was a 500 number, so we need to keep it as a 500. So to do that, fill in a 0 at the end. That 0 is not significant. It may be at the end, but it's not after a decimal. So 510 is the same power of the number, but with 2 sig figs. We also need to attach some units to this. Speed of a wave is measured in meters per second.